Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folk, welcome back to the Dead Film Critics Society. It has been a decent amount of time since we last discussed things. We've been very busy with school, but now our semesters are over. We're home for Christmas break, and we're ready to talk about some fucking movies. So let's jump right into it, man. Do you want to start us off with the news?
I didn't actually have anything immediately to mind, so I know you had something you already wanted to talk about with DC's
Okay.
uh, business,
Yeah. Well, most of you probably heard this is like a couple weeks ago that, or was it a couple weeks ago? Or was it just last
I
week?
feel like it was this past week or so.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, DC has been severely reshuffled again. James Gunn is now going to be spearheading the majority of creative decisions for the DC extended universe, and that first decision was to announce he's basically going to reset everything. There will be some superheroes that are gonna like make the crossover to the new universe that he's creating. Like Zachary Levi's Shazam is one, but Henry Cavill is no longer gonna be Superman, which kind of sucks because he came back for that cameo for no reason. And the Black Adam probably won't be in it as well. That's what they're saying. Obviously, Ezra Miller's Flash is not going to be in that. It's just too much drama there. I don't know about Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I hope she comes through because I think she's pretty good Wonder Woman. I like her as Wonder Woman. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. With some of the other superheroes, but I don't know who's gonna be the new Batman. I don't know who's gonna be the new Superman. But I mean, I trust his judgment. He made the Suicide Squad, not Suicide Squad, that which was a pretty good movie. Then
Yeah.
obviously he's done a great job with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and I don't know. I just think he's a pretty good creator overall. I really like this Peacemaker series too. I should mention that, but yeah, what do you think of the Big Shuffle?
I think it's good overall. Like, I don't know. I'm personally not very invested in DC. I'm also getting less invested in Marvel by the day. I don't know. I feel like overall, there's not a lot of franchises that are like franchises in general. I think are disinteresting me more and more. So, but I think James Gunn makes a lot more sense for someone taking a creative vision for DC because yeah, like I think his work with Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad is probably the most fun and entertaining DC stuff I've seen easily. Probably the most if I even bothered to see them all, which I will not. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's about time that Warner Brothers made a decent decision by putting someone who might actually make something fun out of the DC universe instead of Zack Snyder's all so serious stuff. Because like
Yeah,
yeah, I think when people go to see superhero films, they really are going to have fun. They want to see some of their favorite actors playing these characters and like having fun with it. And like obviously they'll want like some action and they'll want like stakes to some extent, but they also like at the end of the day, the hero will live pretty much unless you like build up and like and maybe they have a plan for like a whole thing like the Avengers did to eventually kill off some of these characters, but I'm sure that's a long time coming and a lot more successful movies ahead of time, which considering DC's track record may never come. So, but I think they have a much better shot with James Gunn at the helm.
I definitely agree. Yeah, I mean, I think another thing I wanted to discuss that he did was the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Did you end up watching that this year? Or?
No, I didn't.
It was actually like I won't say it was great, but it was quite fun. I had a good time with it. The jokes weren't super cringe, which was nice. It's a good change of pace for the MCU because Phase Four, I have to say, has been really inconsistent. I haven't liked a lot of the stuff that's come out, from that phase. I know that you really haven't been watching those movies, but I've been like I've watched I think pretty much all of Phase Four. I don't know if I missed anything. I tried watching. I think the only thing I didn't finish was Ms. Marvel. I just couldn't do it. It was not entertaining for me. And the only reason why I finished She-Hulk is because of Daredevil. But
Right.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just looking at what I are we counting What If? I don't know. They listed What If under the Phase 4 on this freaking wiki. I don't know if
Oh
you've
yeah.
seen. Did
Actually,
you see
what if
that?
wasn't? What If wasn't terrible. Yeah, I watched it.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm looking at what I haven't seen. I haven't seen. I didn't watch. I watched 2 episodes of She-Hulk, and then I kind of quit on it. I watched Moon Knight. I didn't start Miss Marvel. I don't know if I'll ever get around to that. Hawkeye, same with that. I watched Loki. I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier. I liked. I watched WandaVision, and I've seen all the Well, actually, no, I haven't seen Eternals or Black Panther. I still haven't seen Black Panther. I'm probably gonna wait till it comes out on Disney Plus to watch it. And then I didn't see the holiday special or Werewolf by Night. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see Werewolf by Night. I actually quite liked that. The black and white was great. I mean, it allowed for a little bit more violence than we're used to in the DC. Sorry, not DC, in the
Yeah,
MCU.
yeah,
Yeah, so it was definitely a good change of pace. And also, fun fact, it was directed by Michael Giacchino,
yeah.
who's
No,
more
I
known
knew
for his.
that, which was very interesting. It was cool to see
Yeah, no,
them giving him a shot to direct something if that's something he's been interested in. Because he's been a composer for a lot of films. He's done a
oh yeah,
like he's been very busy this year between directing that and I guess doing the music for that as well. He's also done the music for like he did I think well he did Spider-Man No Way Home before this year, but then he also did the Batman. He did I think the Thor movie. He did the Batman. I said the Batman already. He did the Thor movie, did the Batman, and then he also did Jurassic Park. So he's been busy. He's been making lots of
Oh
stuff.
wait, Fallen Kingdom,
He did
that one.
Fallen the score for Fallen Kingdom, yeah, which
Probably the best thing about that movie then.
probably.
Fucking hell. Fallen Kingdom is so ass, which we'll get to in a bit
He also
later. I
did
mean, like, I know we're
Lightyear,
gonna-
which obviously
Huh?
had mixed reception.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. Actually, I've been meaning
I
to.
that is the one big Disney thing I have seen that I feel like some well, yeah, I did see it. Um, and I thought it was okay. It didn't deserve the hate it got. It was just fine. Anyways, uh, do you have any more news before I hop into mine?
Uh, I mean, Avatar: The Way of Water. It had a really big opening weekend. It
Yeah,
made around like $430 million,
yeah,
which is
internationally.
pretty much all of its budget already. I know that that's not really how it works. Like, it needs like certain percentage of the budget for advertising, and then it, needs to make a bit more than
Yeah,
that to turn a profit or at least break even. So I think it will, though. I mean, it's
yeah. I know the
to make
the
it.
the numbers are
Mm,
still mixed on that overall. I think because
mm,
I've heard it's reported like I think like I've heard it reported that the film's budget like just I don't know if it was just the film, but it was around 460 million. I don't know if that
yeah,
includes the bundle of marketing and all that other jazz.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know because I mean James Cameron himself said it would have to be like the third or fourth highest grossing film of all time to break even, which
I'm
makes me
gonna be
think
honest with you. I think he's exaggerating. I don't. I think that's just he's trying to
why
get
would he
people.
put that much pressure? Like, would he is he
Why would
saying
he? Because like, why would he say that like before his movie comes out? That seems like a dumb thing to say.
I think James Cameron says a lot of dumb things. Just like
Yeah,
he's said a lot of things. In the
yeah,
past month or so in before Avatar's release, and I think to some extent they're earned. Like when some people were I don't know comparing the VFX of all the Na'vi to Thanos, he was like, "You're stupid. The Thanos is not even close to what we're doing here," and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. He said a lot of stuff. I can't even remember all of it. I don't know. Apparently, he also released a scientific study saying that they did a study on the door in Titanic and proved that two people could not float on it to, I guess, disprove all the people who say, they probably could, both of them could have floated on the door. Jack didn't really have to die. But I don't know. Like, he's an interesting filmmaker, man. And, like,
mm,
he clearly, yeah, he clearly has a big ego. But also, I think he maybe thinks that ego is in support of cinema as a whole, as, like, a filmmaker who's demanding that his stuff is in theaters for a long time and will be seen and people like will want to see it in the most premium formats. I mean, I'm going to see it in like the 4DX just because I thought it would be funny. If I'm going to watch like something in 4DX, I figured it might as well be this movie that's supposed to take place underwater for a lot of it. So it was like
yeah.
all the sprays and the movement and all that. I figured
Oh yeah,
that
that's
would
kind
make
of
the most
cool.
sense. Yeah, so you know.
I didn't see it in that, but I did see it in Screen X, which is 270
Okay.
degrees.
How was that?
Of,
I've
I can't lie to you, it was a bit
yeah,
distracting.
okay, yeah. That's
I
what I've
mean, I
heard
was
about
still
it.
immersed in the world, but like, I was sick of seeing shit in my peripheral vision. I was like, the movie's right here. Why am I
Yeah,
seeing
exactly.
shit on the side
Yeah.
of me?
Yeah.
Felt weird.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
that said about Screen X as well. Yeah. So I guess you wouldn't recommend it. I was never really
I
going
wouldn't
to
recommend
it,
Screen
but
X,
yeah.
but it didn't impact my overall viewing experience. I'll get to my thoughts on that movie later, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Let me see. Is there anything I've missed? I don't think there's much. Oh, the Spider-Verse trailer came out.
oh
That was
yeah, no,
pretty
I saw
sick.
that.
I enjoyed that. It was a trailer. I was actually excited. I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna. I usually don't watch trailers, but I like, oh, this thing's coming out like in like another 6 months. I'm gonna probably watch this,
Oh yeah.
and also
No,
I
I'm
knew they
definitely
probably wouldn't spoil anything, so
yeah.
it was cool. It was a good trailer. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like that whole scene where they it looks like they're sitting on a ledge, but it's actually upside down. That was nice.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Also, I heard that Spectacular Spider-Man is supposed to be in the Spider-Verse movie, so which I'm kind of happy about. Love that.
yeah. There's gonna be
Very
like,
popular.
I'm worried that like just the amount of spider people they're showing in that like those few shots makes me think like they may be going too ambitious. I also like, I think the screenplay is by Phil Lord, who
Christopher
from.
Miller.
I don't think Christopher Miller is actually writing it. I think it's just
Really?
Phil. I think because Phil Lord was the only one who actually was on the writing team for the first one, and I think that's the same case. The co-writer
I
I
thought
think
it was
is
both of
Dave
them. That's kind of
Callum,
sad.
who's done mixed things. He's done Shang-Chi. He did the Godzilla movie. Um,
No, Christopher Miller is working on the screenplay as well.
he is?
Yeah, that's what it says here on Wikipedia.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how I passed that up. I guess, but the other, yeah. So Dave Callum, as I was saying, is the other writer, and I'm a little bit worried about like I'm sure I trust Phil Lord and Christopher. That makes me feel better now. I don't know why I thought Phil Lord was only because I think Phil Lord is doesn't like I don't think Christopher Miller actually has a writing credit on the first one, but he does I guess on the second one because Dave Callum, his writing is not amazing. Like he's done Shang-Chi, which I definitely don't love its writing. There's better parts of it for
Hmm.
sure. He did Wonder Woman 1984. He did that Mortal Kombat movie. He did
Hmm.
Godzilla. So he's penned stuff for like big movies, but not like I don't think the writing has ever really been praised in any of his movies.
Yeah.
He's apparently also helping with the live action Hercules that Guy Ritchie's doing, which is interesting. But yeah, no, like I know it. I'm really more trusting Phil Lord and Christopher Miller more than anyone else with this project,
No, for
and
real, man. They definitely earned it.
and
They've
I
got some
yeah, and
great
I'm
stuff.
feeling good about it overall. Yeah, I mean obviously the animation looks great,
Stunning.
but
Yeah.
then again, no one expected anything less.
No,
Uh,
of course not. Yeah, but I have high hopes. I think it'll be good.
yeah,
I mean, like I wasn't sure about how the first one looked, but like by judging by the trailers didn't really sell it for me. But like I kept hearing great things about it, so I went to go see it with my friends in high school, and it was just I was blown away by how good it was initially. I mean, I still like it. I don't like it as much as the first time I saw it, but like it's definitely a great film. I can't remember. Did that win Best Animated Feature when it came out?
it did, yeah,
Okay, good. I was just wanting to make sure because I know that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller's other movie that other superbly animated film like what was it called? Oh, the Lego Movie. Yeah,
yeah,
like that didn't get even a nomination, which is
no,
just ridiculous to this
is
day. I don't
yeah.
understand how that happened.
Is one of the great tragedies of the animation category, which among many other tragedies of not recognizing probably the best movies. And
Yeah.
and like this, like I don't know, I think Lego Movie and Spider Verse are both things that I'd have in my personal best picture 10 of those years if I had
Oh
the
yeah.
choice. So I'm hoping that Spider Verse, well, actually, well, the next Spider Verse, which is called Across the Spider Verse, will
Yeah.
meet those expectations.
This one's a two-parter though, eh? It's Across the
Yeah,
Spider-Verse Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they approach that.
Well, let's hope the third one's good because I don't know, some Spider-Man sequels tend to be bad,
Yeah.
as we've seen in the past. But I mean, obviously, No Way Home is one of the few exceptions to that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Last thing I wanted to mention is that there's been a
Yes.
lot. So the other two trailers for summer movies that came out were Oppenheimer and Barbie. I don't know if you saw either of
Yeah.
those. If you have
The
thoughts on
Oppenheimer trailer, it's pretty simple though. It's just like him walking, isn't it? Is that the one you're talking about, or is
no,
there
there
another
was
one?
like a new one. I'm pretty sure. Like that was the first
Really?
teaser trailer, but I'm pretty sure there's another one. I don't know if you've seen. I guess you haven't seen. I haven't
I,
seen
I
it yet.
don't I don't think I've seen it then. Wow. I did see the Barbie trailer though. I
Okay,
like
yeah,
the reference to 2001 though. That was pretty sweet.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it's gonna be so good. Honestly, like just judging by that trailer, like people are already making memes online. Getting like collecting like Patrick Bateman, like all these Sigma characters and putting them
yeah,
together and be like,
yeah.
4 tickets to Barbie, please, or something like that. And I
Hmm.
love that. The movie already has a dedicated fan base, and we barely
Yeah,
know anything about it, which I think is
that's
pretty
true.
funny.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciate that part of it. Like
Yeah.
like I think so I guess I was reading an article about someone being like the Barbie movie getting overhyped, at least as far as like how much money you would make, or that like you know joking that there's like a competing fan base between Oppenheimer and Barbie fans. And I'm like, why not both? But they're also releasing on the same date at the moment. So
Oh,
there's
they
jokes
are.
about like, oh, one should move their release date because then the one will. It's like, for one, I mean, they're going for different target demographics. I don't think it's going to be like.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting though to just like see opening night and trying to
Yeah.
figure out who's there to see Oppenheimer, who's there to see Barbie, or
Honestly,
who's there to try
I
to
might
see.
go see both on the same
I
day.
would want to go see both on the same day. That is definitely my
If you
plan.
do that, I'll do it with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
That would be
Yeah.
my plan. If the show times allowed for that. But
Yeah. No, if they do, then maybe I'll have to do like a one of those quick change outfits where one's like hot pink and then it just flips over to like gray and muted for Oppenheimer or something.
yeah,
I don't know. That would be funny.
that could be funny. I don't know, like
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
honestly like that would basically be like the National Cinema Day that year, which would be
Oh
fun.
yeah.
But of course, I don't think these two will get in like I don't think anyone's choosing between Oppenheimer and the Barbie movie. Either they're probably like on one side of the aisle, or they're gonna probably see both. I don't think because they'll see one, they won't see the other.
No, I
Probably.
agree. Yeah. No,
So
those movies are both going to be peak. So like I'm excited for it to
yeah,
be
I
honest.
don't, and I think,
Yeah.
well, I think both. I think Universal and Christopher Nolan, or especially Christopher Nolan, he's probably gonna be stubborn enough to keep Oppenheimer on the Barbie date just despite Warner Brothers, and probably vice versa. They're probably Warner Brothers is probably because they didn't have a great end to their, they had a long studio director relationship, and that kind of fell apart after the whole Tenet debacle and the
Yeah,
argument
no,
over putting that in
that's pretty
theaters.
goofy. I can't lie. Like, how are you gonna let one of the greatest working directors today go over petty reasons? Like, that's just stupid.
Yeah, and you also
Yeah,
like in like the HBO Max thing, and they're trying. I mean, Warner Brothers is just a ridiculous company at this point. Like
yeah,
them with how they're handling DC, and they're canceling so much HBO stuff, not releasing the Batgirl after it's all filmed. Like, and they're doing that with so much other stuff
yeah.
as well.
Why the fuck don't
I
they
don't
just put it on HBO Max at this point? Like, I want to see it, man.
because
Like,
apparently I don't know. Somehow tax laws make it easier for them to keep money by not releasing it, which is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I don't know what kind of tax laws they're writing down there, but they need to get them fixed because like you should
that's
not be
fucking
able
crazy.
to allow a studio to save more money by not releasing like something that's already been made. It's stupid.
Agreed. No, it is fucking stupid.
So
Like, I
like
want to
I
see.
mean I don't blame Warner Brothers as a company for doing it because they're obviously financial safety. I blame more the people who allow whoever made the laws that allow this to make it make more sense for them because that's
Yeah,
just stupid. But also Warner Brothers has also made a bunch of stupid decisions and
I know you can say that again.
but they're also releasing Barbie, so in some ways we'll still support them. But I don't know. And they're not behind. Well, they were behind the Lego Movie, but that's irrelevant. Anyways, um,
And the Lego Batman movie.
yeah,
Yeah, peak.
yeah.
Anyways,
I think we can get into kind of our top films of the year.
Yeah.
Um, I'm assuming you don't keep track. I feel like I've told you.
I honestly have not. I haven't been keeping track. I should have done that, but
I usually
I
keep track using
with
Letterboxd, but
Letterboxd, right? Yeah.
yeah, what I have watched from this year. Because I was just wondering, I don't know how many movies you've been able to manage to watch between, school and everything.
Let's see. Well, the one movie I haven't gotten to watch yet is Knives Out 2, but I'm gonna watch that like on Friday when it comes out on Netflix
Right.
because that seems like the best option. What else? Well, only really movies I've been able to see are like kind of the bigger blockbusters so far. I mean, I haven't. I was gonna go see Triangle of Sadness, but that was right after Halloween, and I got violently ill, so I
Oh,
was not able to attend,
that's
unfortunately.
unfortunate.
And it was playing at the Windsor International Film Festival. I was quite surprised by that. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I,
No, I saw the
well,
Windsor was playing a lot of good stuff. A lot of
yeah, it would
stuff
have
that
been
had been going around the festival circuit.
it would have been awesome, but it's just too bad. Anyways, what else? What else is there? Well, obviously I saw Black Panther 2. What else? Oh, I saw Top Gun Maverick earlier, like earlier in the year. That was, oof, that might have been my favorite like experience so far. Like I thought initially it was gonna be No Way Home. No Way Home is close second just because of the crowd atmosphere in that one, but like Top Gun Maverick was like next level shit in IMAX. Like I have never seen anything put to screen like that before. Absolutely crazy. I'm sure you probably feel the same way, just from a technical
Yeah,
aspect. I
yeah,
know the
yeah.
story is pretty bare bones. It's very simple, but like
No, like I really liked
technically speaking, it's a master. Yeah.
I really liked Top Gun. I admired it in a lot of ways. Like I do enjoy the practical action that they were displaying, and like the fact that they were in real planes and they put the camera in the plane. I can admire a lot of that. I think it's maybe getting like I think I've become a little like and yeah, I had a great time watching it with my dad who watched it for like the third time in IMAX when I was watching with him because he watched it with my brother first and then also with my mom. I think at some point he basically
Oh my
watched it with every
god.
member of our family once. Because Top Gun, the first one is like one of his favorite movies of all time. So he was
No, I
obviously,
don't mind that. Um,
that's all I thought this movie was really gonna be, and that's maybe why I've become annoyed with it at this point because it was a lot better than that movie that he wanted, even I
yeah.
think, at least for like especially as far as general audience appeal as well. Like it skyrocketed all those expectations.
Yeah, it's
And
stayed in
now
the
it's
top
like
five for so long as well. Like at the
yeah,
box
yeah.
office, that was
No,
so
and
impressive.
yeah, and its domestic box office power has just pretty much been unparalleled throughout the entire year. Um,
Mm.
and so now, like, coming up with award season, it's shown up in a lot of places I don't always agree with necessarily. Like, I don't
Where
blame it
was
for
it?
being in. It's very strong for picture. It's very likely to get in for best picture. Um, Tom Cruise might get nominated as like far fetched as that seems, but the best actor category, as far as like traditional Oscar bait performances, there aren't a lot there that are like acclaimed really. There,
Yeah.
yeah, like a lot of
I
the
mean, there's
more
Austin Butler and Elvis. I
yeah,
think he's
there's
definitely
he's
nominated.
definitely in. Brendan Fraser will be
Yeah.
there. Colin
Yeah.
Farrell from
One for-
Banshees will be there. But
Yeah.
beyond that, the yeah, there is not like there has not been as many traditional bait like
What
claimed
about
performances
maybe it's not
really.
bait. I heard Paul Dano and The Fablemans was all right. Maybe do you think he'll get supporting actor
He might get supporting actor. That's not even
or
like I liked him in The Fablemans. I think he would be worthy of a nomination. I think he plays that character well.
Hmm.
Um, he's not. Yeah, he's not confirmed for that. But I'm talking about like as far as a best leading actor. I
Wrestling
think
actor?
the
I mean,
women.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
as
three
far
off
as
the
like
top of our head. How many people are allowed to be nominated again? I
five,
can't. Is it five? Yeah.
five. Yeah. So as
Yeah.
far as like lead performances that like have the tradition like kind of like the big dramatic scenes and like the
Yeah.
typical kind of in a more like Oscar friendly movie, there's not a lot honestly. Like
Yeah.
it's the women I think have vastly outperformed them in that category. You have things like Michelle Yeoh, which isn't by any means a classic Oscar performance, but with how much Everything Everywhere All at Once is beloved, and her
Yeah.
performance just being very much a part of that, she's obviously come along for the ride. Michelle Williams helps crowd
Yeah.
out that category in The Fablemans, even though
Mm.
really I think she's supporting, but they've pushed her lead and she's still getting nominated, and she'll probably be there at the Oscars. Kate
Mm.
Blanchett in Tar is obviously another one that's shown up in a
I
lot of
haven't seen that one.
places.
Have you?
I have. It's
Is that
definitely one of my favorite films of the year. I think it's such a well crafted film, and Kate Blanchett is
I keep seeing
insanely
what's it
good.
called? I was gonna say I keep seeing fan cams of her like in that movie, like unbuttoning her. No, not sorry. Untying her hair and just like waving it around. Apparently, like people are calling her a milf or something like that. Which I
I don't know.
mean,
There's a lot. There are a good amount of funny memes about Tar, but it's also just which
yeah,
is so funny considering it is a very it's a pretty like it's pretty much just a serious art house movie throughout most of it. But
uh,
again, yeah, I think
uh,
Kate Blanchett is amazing. Viola Davis for The Woman King has been in talks of potentially getting nominated.
I
Danielle,
unfortunately did not get to see that one.
I also
Was did you see it?
I never managed to catch it either.
Yeah. I
Daniel
heard people were getting
Deadweiler.
mad at it. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I
Oh
just
yeah,
think I heard people getting mad at that film because it wasn't historically accurate or something like
they
that.
kind of skip over the part where that tribe that's depicted, where the women were the warriors, also did have slaves, and they kind of brush over that part for the most part. And
Yikes.
but it is like part of the circumstances of the times, because if they didn't have slaves, then they would be the slaves, unfortunately. So unfortunately, it was
Yeah.
very much a you know hunt or be hunted kind of situation. And that's obviously not the point of the movie, really.
Mm.
There's also the fact, I mean, what is it? I mean, even Jessica Chastain in The Good Nurse has gotten some acclaim. Like I said, Danielle Deadweiler and Till had a lot of raves. She didn't show up at the Golden Globes nominations though, so that did put a little bit of hurt on her. But yeah, basically my point is that there's been
Can
a
you
lot
blame her though?
more
You wouldn't want to show
clear.
up at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal. She'll probably still get nominated in the at the
Probably,
end of the day. Oh yeah, also like Olivia Colman in Empire of Light. That's also like a kind of performance that would likely be nominated. But again, like I said, there's just so many people, and Empire of Light has really not done a dent as far as
yeah.
like any awards hype or acclaim. Same with Naomi Aki
Yeah.
in I Want to Dance with Somebody, whose reviews just came out and they're very mixed.
Yeah.
Basically,
She's
everything that
amazing. The movie's not so amazing.
yeah, they don't even say she's amazing. They say she's good in a very mediocre movie.
I
From
mean, I
what I've
kind of
seen,
thought it might be something like that. I also heard here it's like over 3 hours or something like
it's
that. Is
like
that
two and a
true?
half hours or something, which is way too long. I like, and it also apparently to a lot of people it just feels like a Wikipedia summary of Whitney Houston's life, which makes me
Yeah,
think they
I could tell by the trailers it was gonna be like that. It didn't really seem like it was gonna be that nuanced.
yeah,
Yeah, 146 minutes. Jeez, that's way too long for that.
that is pretty long. And even Ana de Armas they nominated at the Golden Globes for Blonde. Did you ever
I mean,
watch Blonde?
I did actually. I gotta say, like, she was really good, but man, it's a hard watch. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, like,
no,
it is just, it's such a fucked up movie. I mean,
yes.
I guess Marilyn Monroe had a pretty fucked up life, but
You know most of
my
that's fiction
God,
though, right?
huh?
Most of it's
What?
fiction. It's a
Well, I know
fictional
some.
novel. It's based on a fictional novel.
Okay, I know, but some of it does take experiences from her real life, though. I mean, like, you
Yeah,
know,
some
from
of
her
it.
mother. Yeah, I know not all of it's real, but yeah. But one of the scenes that I felt the most uncomfortable with was just when John F. Kennedy like rapes her. It was in the mouth.
Yeah.
That was incredibly hard to sit through, to be honest with you. And it's the first that's the first NC-17 movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and it was yikes. It was very, very uncomfortable most of the time. Especially
Yeah.
that polyamorous part was also a bit uncomfortable, but less so. I mean, yeah. Also, the whole like part where uh, I can't remember the baseball player's name, but Joe DiMaggio,
Oh
where
yeah.
he's like beating her up and stuff. That's it's pretty hard to sit through.
Yeah.
But no, I think she is pretty good. Her accent does slip a tiny bit at times, but
Yeah.
it's overall she does a pretty good performance.
Yeah, I
You're getting
like
nominated. I don't think she'll win though.
she's probably like that's very likely a Golden Globes thing considering the other competition she has. I don't think the Oscars will touch this thing with a 12-foot pole. It's a very much a
Mhm.
Golden Globes pick. I really think, and I
Yeah,
honestly, unfortunately, I don't think. Unfortunately, I don't like. I don't think the movie. Like, I think some of the technical stuff is good. The
yeah.
writing is very empty, and considering the subject matter on display does not justify its presence really. And I also honestly don't think she's very good. Like, I don't think she's bad. I don't think like she doesn't even like get a chance to give like a really good performance. Honestly, she's like better in everything else she's done,
Blade
except
Runner
maybe
for
like
one.
Deep. Well, yeah, she's better in Blade Runner and Knives Out for sure. And even No Time to literally everything else I've seen her in, I think she's better in. And
Yeah, it's crazy because in No
so,
Time to Die, she had like barely any screen time,
but
and you're
she's
saying
still
she's
better
better.
somehow.
No, she was very good in No Time to Die. Like the limited screen time she had, I quite like that.
So I don't know. I'm
No Time to Die
hoping
is did No Time to Die? What was the song that came out with that? Oh wait, that's already been That's already won an award
that's
though.
already yeah that already won the Oscar last year.
That's so weird, isn't it? Like the fucking movie just released, like and it released a full year after the song won the award for it. It was
Yeah, it won a Grammy and then it did win the like it won an Oscar like almost a
yeah,
year later, which was weird,
uh,
but it did
that
that.
is really strange. Anyways,
Um,
fuck. Well, what original songs do you think are gonna win this year? Do you think there's anyone or?
Uh, Original song. It's between I think Lady Gaga's song for Top Gun Maverick and
Mhm.
Rihanna's song for Black Panther. That's kind of where it's sitting
Honestly,
right now.
I love Lady Gaga, but that Black Panther song was, getting me in my feels a little bit near the end of the movie. So, yeah, I think that one probably is gonna win.
It. I have it number one right now. I
Yeah,
the other
I just
songs include
yeah,
Carolina by Taylor Swift, and that will probably get
that's
there
a
just
pretty good
because
one
it's
too.
like I don't know. Taylor Swift is just such the it woman girl. Like it's
She's a fucking juggernaut these days. My
she's doing
God,
it like she is probably like the entertainer of the year. I'd say between like all of her
I'd
music
agree.
and the short
Yeah.
film. Like I don't know, she somehow managed to convince Variety to put her on the directors on director series. So she was talking with Martin McDonough, who did Banshees, which is like insane. Like that she's alongside these Oscar-nominated feature directors, considering she's literally.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know if you knew this, but she's slated to direct a movie,
Really?
with Searchlight Pictures, like the Fox
Yeah, no,
company.
the Fox like art house one.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know. Didn't what's it called? Did she directed the the 11 minute long music video
yeah, yeah,
too? Well,
yeah. The All Too
yeah.
Well video.
I thought she did all right with that. To be
I think
honest, I
she.
mean,
Yeah, I think I like.
she just needs to stay away from acting because she's not a great
She's
actress.
not a great actress.
No,
I
the
think
Lorax is probably her best performance, and that's not saying
pro-
much.
probably her choice.
Yeah,
Like whoever is in charge of throwing her movie projects should probably be fired.
yeah, I don't know. I
Considering
mean, I think they
has a
probably
record
killed
of
themselves after
Cats,
giving her cats.
Amsterdam,
Yeah.
and The Lorax.
Doesn't she
So
get like brutally murdered in Amsterdam?
apparently, I think
Yeah.
she at least gets shoved in a car. Is the only thing I've seen from that movie, and is the only thing I intend to see because I do not intend to support Amsterdam in any way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah,
Because
man.
David O.
I
Russell
honestly I will not be watching it. Isn't it
go
on
to
Disney Plus
jail.
already though? I think it's on
Yeah, it
Disney
is.
Plus.
It is on Disney Plus now.
Oh my god.
Well, so is Banshees, by the way. So
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll watch that then. Sounds.
that should be yeah. I highly you should watch Banshees for sure.
Unfortunately, though, Christmas movies will be taking up most of until Christmas comes. So
Fair enough.
I don't know how many other movies I'll get to watch, but we'll see. Yeah,
Have you been
but
this
yeah.
is not related to 2022 movies, but have you been watching movies in your like film classes
Um.
before
We've
them?
seen clips from movies, but no, really, no. Unfortunately.
Huh.
That's not really what it's about this year. This year was this semester was more hands-on stuff, right? So we were doing
Okay.
less theory in the classroom, which was nice,
Okay.
like I quite liked the project I ended up making. I saw that you liked it. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no, I
that.
liked it. It was good.
Thanks for your
It's
kind
good
words,
stuff.
sir. Yeah. If you guys want to go check it out as well, like I'm sure Daniel will put the link to my Instagram
Yeah, 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 I will.
in the description below. Please show it some love or show it some hate, because it is my first project. I'm open to all criticism. I'd like to get better. So, yeah, yeah, very fun
Yeah.
stuff.
It's been interesting because like one of my first classes that I've had to take is called film art, which is like been we've been like pretty much every week is supposed to be like a movie associated with a different aspect of filmmaking that we've been looking at.
Nice.
We've I don't know. We watched Black Panthers, the first one. I don't know if I ever mentioned that to you.
Really?
Yeah, which was interesting. But I think it was
Well, it is a
something for
choice, I guess.
like, it's a very accessible start. But then we
Yeah,
also went
I
to
mean,
like
yeah.
French New Wave stuff like Cleo from, I don't know if you even heard of Cleo from 5 to 7. Um, we've done like It's a Wonderful Life. We did
Okay.
Double Indemnity. I don't even know if you know any of these films I'm talking about.
No, I
We did
unfortunately don't.
we did Moonlight and Get Out. We did
Oh,
Parasite.
good choices.
That
Yeah.
we did Persepolis, which was probably maybe the most like enjoyable film I think that I
Yeah, no,
saw.
I've seen that one. It's pretty good actually.
No, I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been interesting to actually watch some movies in class.
Yeah.
As part of it. But
It's a Precipice is a pretty sad story though. I mean like, but it
yeah,
does have somewhat of a happy ending, which is nice. So,
yeah.
it's
I've
just
also
horrible.
like I've seen a lot. I think this is the year I've seen the most movies like during the year like they came out since I started getting into film. I like looking at my list, I've at 70 movies, which I think is more than any of the other years I've kind of been into film. I
Yeah.
think it's more than a year I've actually. Yeah, I think it's more films than I've seen in any year. Yeah, because the only other one was 2021 I saw 68 movies.
Wow.
This year I'm at 70 right now, and
Mm,
so
annoying.
part of that, I mean, I saw 20 of those at TIFF, so that was a big chunk of
Mm.
them. And then I've also gotten the chance to start. I don't know if you've noticed me posting on my Instagram those movie reviews, but I've been writing for this website called Screenfish. They're kind of like, uh,
Are they paying you?
no, they're not paying me, but
Oh,
I
that's
wish, I wish, but they are like that place themselves is like kind of, they're like a fundraised like support website, so that's how like the editor gets his little like not even I don't want to ask him about it really, but it's not amazing salary, but I guess it's enough to make a living, but it's like a Christian review site that like focuses on like engaging people and like talks about the themes and like the cultural discussion around movies, sometimes the religious ones if they happen to have
okay.
religious implications, like I mean, something like Women Talking obviously has those. It's very much, because it's dealing with Mennonites who are, it's a lot,
Hmm.
like a good amount. There's a lot of different types of Mennonites. Some of them are very fundamentalist. The ones shown in the movie are very fundamentalist. So there's a fair amount to discuss about that. And, but, anyways, yeah, through that, I've been able to get some screeners to some of these movies, which has been awesome. The best of which was probably All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, which honestly I think you should check out for sure.
All right.
It was a really cool movie about it's a documentary about Nan Golden, who was an artist who was growing up in kind of I think the 80s LGBTQ scene in New York. And she
Oh,
was known as an artist who, like, one of why she was kind of a revolutionary artist is that she took a lot of pictures of her own life, was very personal with her art, showing her and her friends just living life in that very unique setting of New York. But then also that's like kind of the first part of it, and like the tragedies and the beauty of that, and also like a big part of it does deal with when a lot of her friends were disappearing because of the AIDS crisis
hmm.
coming to the 90s. But then also the film was shot primarily to cover her work again, her activism against the Sackler family, who
Mm-hmm.
were in charge, like who were responsible for OxyContin It shows how she used her influence as an artist to try to like, because the Sacklers had their name on a lot of different museums, so she would bring like her like kind of protest group that she gathered to these kind of places and helped take down their name, and it was a big reason why was a part of the reason why they were partially held responsible for their
Okay.
actions, even though frankly the way they basically made a deal to protect themselves from any jail time, so they really will never, even by like legal standards, never really receive the proper justice they should for their negligence and how much, because they knew how addictive it was and they released it to the market anyways. But
Yeah.
it's a really interesting movie that covers both of those aspects very well.
Okay.
And it's my favorite documentary of the year. I'd highly recommend it.
All right. I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I don't
man.
think it's available anywhere on streaming right now, unfortunately, but I'll let you know when it is.
Speaking of streaming, have you seen any good TV shows this year? As well, we obviously this is more about focus about movies, but like, what's been your favorite TV show you've watched this year? I know you mentioned you saw The White Lotus, so
Yeah, I did watch The White
yeah.
Lotus. If I'm being honest, like I haven't seen a ton of TV, but that might be my least favorite that I actually completed.
Really?
I don't think it's bad. I think the showrunner Mike White is a talented writer overall. I just don't agree with his decisions a lot of the time, and also some of as a director, I think I like him even less. Um, because I don't know, just like just as a warning, like not that it's really like a bad thing about the show, but there are so many shots of like the waves and like the ocean in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. It feels like it's trying very hard to be like an art piece by like showing these waves and contrast, like, like connecting the waves to the drama that's happening in the show. And I get bored of it like instantly. Like one episode in particular just had so many of those shots. Like if you drank every time there's a shot of just waves or the ocean, you would be dead. Because it's just so much. And
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, I think it could have moved faster as well, I think, overall, is my opinion. But I don't know, you should watch it. It's still very entertaining, even if I feel like I was like waiting for something to happen. And like these characters are interesting enough that you kind of root against them enough that you're invested in it, which is why I finished it in the first place.
Okay.
But I also did make fun of it a fair bit. But I'd say it's a good show overall.
All right. Sweet.
As far as the best things I've seen, I think the show that surprised me that like I wasn't on my radar at all that I really liked was The Bear, which is on Disney
I heard
Plus
that
right now.
was. I've seen them. I've started watching it a little bit. I like the frantic pace that it goes at.
Yeah, no,
It really
I really
really captures the
liked.
restaurant energy quite well. I mean, I did obviously didn't work at a restaurant that one. But restaurant got some pretty busy days, and like being a wait staff there is that stressful.
Yeah,
So
no, for sure. And
yeah.
like I think The Bear for me was definitely one of the more interesting shows I saw, and it's stuck with me. I think the acting is excellent from that entire ensemble. I think the weakest aspect is maybe the writing, but some of the writing moments are also just brilliant.
Mm.
Even if it's maybe a little inconsistent throughout the whole thing, but yeah, like the acting is great, the directing is on point. Like it really does a great job at creating that stressful atmosphere. And like this is a show that's had the audacity to literally do a one take episode, and I'm like, okay, like it can be seen as a gimmick sometimes, but I think it really works for that episode and it works for the show as a whole, like these long
Mm.
takes. So really good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. All right. All right.
um Pachinko is another one that I think people did not watch enough. There was enough people watching it. It was on Apple TV. It was I don't know, it's a little like there's a lot happening in the show. It's basically it goes back and forth in time as well. It's about this Korean family, and it starts with them in Korea and then shows how they eventually immigrated to Japan, and then also shows another character who's like potentially who went to school in America. And I don't know, it's just a very good show.
Okay.
Kotanada did the directing on it, half of it, and he's the one who did After Yang. So I think he's probably like my favorite director of the year just based on that. I mean, he made one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite shows of this year. So I think he's instantly my director of the year.
Nice.
And then, I mean, Better Call Saul season 6 was impeccable.
Yeah. I still have not finished that show yet. I've
Yeah.
been meaning to, but fuck, I had too much work to do. I
Uh,
barely had any chance to watch any Netflix. There was one show I did get to watch. Like, it was the weekly ones from Disney Plus. Obviously, I watched She-Hulk. I kind of mentioned that earlier. Big mistake. I kind of wish I didn't watch it. Although the episode with Daredevil was pretty good. I quite liked that. It was just a bit, I don't know, a bit too goofy for me. And then the one that took me by surprise the most, was fucking Andor. Like, I
yeah.
was really impressed with Andor. Like, it was, I didn't mind Rogue One. I quite liked it. It was amazing, like, from a cinematography and technical standpoint, but it wasn't super memorable to me other than that, especially because of the characters. They weren't really that interesting. So when I heard they were making a show based off of, like, one of the characters from that movie, I was like, huh, they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. But tell me why that's the best Star Wars show from this year, and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and Boba Fett show sucked compared to that one. Like, it was on a next level. Like, I don't know what those other shows were doing. Like, because this one, it just looks so much better. It looks like an actual movie broken up into parts instead of just, like, cheap sets and everything like that seemed to be in Boba Fett and fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and the performances were great as well. I think, especially that. Did you watch it, by the way? I don't know if
I
I
did
want to
not.
spoil
I
it.
didn't manage to see it. But,
Okay.
I mean, I kind of figured it would. It had some,
Mm.
like, very interesting names working on it. Like, it had the writer
Yeah.
from House of Cards. It had Tony Gilroy, who's worked on things like Nightcrawler
Oh
and
shit!
some
No
other
kidding.
interesting projects. So, and Dan Gilroy was on the team in some capacity who
Hmm.
directed and wrote Nightcrawler. So, like, I knew it had interesting people behind it
Fucking hell.
and, like,
Well, I mean,
Nicholas
I
Britell
really
doing the
should.
music. So,
I probably should have paid attention to that, but I mean, like, yeah, I was very impressed. It was such a like the first couple episodes are a tiny bit slow, but like once it gets going, it just hooks you in. It was great, and there's a really good mini like mid-season arc with Andy Serkis and like him and Diego Luna are in a prison together, and it's probably the best Star Wars TV I have seen. I like that. I feel like I liked it a tiny bit more than The Mandalorian, which is crazy because that I really liked that show as well. That was
right.
gonna be the best piece of Star Wars media. But yeah, no, Andor's just great. And I don't know. I forget how big of a Star Wars fan are you again? Not too big
I'm
or
I'm definitely a Star Wars fan. Like I said, I feel like I've become disinterested in franchise a little bit more. I think Star
yeah.
Wars is something that I'd probably be like I'll watch The Mandalorian very likely. I will
Mm,
probably eventually catch up on Andor. It's still not a priority for me overall, especially
fair
with like,
enough.
all the stuff I'm writing reviews about and all the movies that are coming out that I usually want to cover and watch. Um,
Mm,
but in like I've gotten invested in some other shows as well, like some older shows as well. Like I started watching Normal People with Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar Jones. That's
okay.
really good. That's on Amazon Prime. And the reason I kind of followed Paul, well, I found one of the reasons I found Normal People and was maybe finally deciding to watch it was after seeing Paul Mescal in After Sun,
Mm-hmm.
which came out this year. I don't know if you heard of it.
No, I haven't.
It's
What is that?
You very much should put it on your watch. It's probably my like. It took me 2 watches to fully understand what it's going for, but once I did, I mean, it kind of broke me, dude. Like, I think it's the movie where I don't know if I cried at every. No, I cried at After Yang. I don't know if I cried during After Everything Everywhere all at once, but this easily made me sob the most of any movie. Um, I don't know, it's brilliant. Like it's a very simple story. I don't think the screenplay is all that amazing, but the direction. I think well, the story itself is quite brilliant in some ways, but the direction and the acting is impeccable. Um, it's just I don't I wouldn't like it doesn't sound that exciting. I'll just tell you, it's like so this woman is reflecting on her like it shows mostly her as a child, remembering a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier, and
Mm-hmm.
so she fills in the like she's watching like footage that's on like video recorder, and she's like trying to fill in the memories with the real like what she imagines happened and also the real memories she had.
Okay.
And it's quite good. I like it might not you might not get it the first time. Like I don't the thing is this movie only works when you realize what it's going for, and it's not like explicit on a first watch, really. Um, it should be by a second one, but once you figure out what it's going for, I think it just works so well.
Okay.
But also, like, if I told you what it was going for, it would kind of ruin the experience a little bit. So I
Sure.
don't want to do that, and
Yeah, by all
you
means.
should just see it for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Like right now,
All
it's
right.
my favorite movie of the year. Like it's even I need to watch everything everywhere all at once again, but
Mm.
we'll see. After Sun is currently my favorite movie of the year.
Okay.
It's won me over. Like I had like I've been waiting for it for a while. Like I tried to see it TIFF, it didn't work out. It's been stuck at like it didn't release until late October, and then it was only at this like it was only at the Varsity Theater in Toronto, which is not convenient for me at all. So then I had to wait till, and also for some time when I actually had more free time, it was only in VIP, so I couldn't see it
Mm.
because I'm not 19 yet.
Wait,
So
when's your birthday?
in 4 days.
Are
Yeah,
you Jesus Christ?
no,
Oh my
but
God.
I technically share a birthday with him.
That's crazy. This guy's
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh wow. Damn. I never knew your birthday was on Christmas. How the fuck didn't I know that? Or
I
maybe
don't
it
know. I
was
feel like I mentioned it at some point.
you probably did. I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's all right.
Usually probably because we've never gotten at each other anything for our birthdays.
Yeah,
But
that's fair enough.
do
It's
you
been,
remember what mine
if
is?
I'm being completely honest, I don't remember when your birthday is right now.
That's okay. It's not long after yours. It's in January
Okay.
on the
Well, I'll
9th.
keep
Yeah.
that in mind. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, After Sun, see it.
All right, I
Um,
will. I'll try and find somewhere to see it. I have my illegal sites.
yeah, it is technically
No, I
available.
don't. What am I talking
I
about?
mean,
Sorry.
I would very much want you to support this movie. I felt inclined to support it twice in theaters. That's how good I thought it was.
Uh,
Um, but and
yeah, fair
it's
enough.
only available like at Scotia. To be fair, it's only available like downtown Toronto at the Scotiabank Theater right now.
Okay.
So I would not blame you. The only reason I saw it twice is because I was seeing I was seeing other things like between TIFF. Like I was seeing something else at TIFF, both at the TIFF Theater, both of those times. So it was easy enough to make a day out of it and watch After Sun and something else. Like me and my brother watched RRR last night.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
that
I heard that
was
was
a lot of fun watching in the theater with the crowd. Like it's so over the top. Like sometimes it is like, if this was not just going for it so hard and like was just what it is, if it was like trying to take itself seriously, this would be a terrible, like I would probably hate this movie. But it's just so much fun, and you can tell the director's just having a blast, and the character, like everyone is just clearly having too much fun to like take it seriously, even though like there is drama in it, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time it's like it's more of a vehicle just to enjoy the what's happening in like these character moments. Like and some of it's like ridiculous. Like they'll literally like in the subtitles they're singing what is literally happening in the
Mm-hmm.
movie, like literally just like they're like being so explicit about it, no subtlety whatsoever. Which like if
Yeah.
that was in an English movie, people would probably like if that was in like I could imagine them doing that in like the Lion King remake, and people probably would have hated that.
Yeah.
But it works very well in this movie. It's a lot of fun.
Alright.
It's available on Netflix, but I mean
Oh,
I
it's on
don't.
Netflix now?
Yeah, it's on
Oh,
Netflix.
fuck, alright. I might have to see that then, because I've heard nothing but great things about this
Yeah.
movie.
It is also 3 hours, so it was definitely a commitment. It also had an
Sorry?
intermission at the theater.
Oh, an intermission.
There was an
Oh.
intermission in it, and like there was like it said intermission, and then we actually had an intermission, which was I think the first time I've been in a theater where there's an intermission in it. The
Yeah,
movie.
that's like a it's like a bloody thing you'd see in the Sound of. I remember the first time I ever saw an intermission was The Sound of Music. Like Jesus Christ, that's old school. They're
Yeah.
going, yeah,
No, it's
which is
the
kind of cool.
old. Yeah, old. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know if it's a staple of Bollywood films. I don't know enough about them, but maybe it is.
Well, the
But
singing and
anyways.
dancing is definitely
Oh,
Bollywood
for
from the
sure.
start.
And all some of the dancing just goes so hard, man. It's so enjoyable to watch. It's like how much commitment they like put to it. Like like he like in one of the particular dance scenes, which actually has a song that's been getting nominated at the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice, so it might show up at the Oscars, which would be awesome if they can get some people to like do like I don't think they'll do the exact dance because like to do that I can't imagine how much effort they put in to make that dance work. But like they just say fuck it to continuity because all of a sudden they're just in all sorts of different locations doing the dance. Like they don't even care that technically this is set in like a dance hall. They just go all over the place. They don't give a fuck, and it's awesome.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
No, I like that. I think there needs to be more movies that don't give a fuck. To be honest,
Yeah, on it. Yeah, this is like this is what a blockbuster really probably should be. There should be more American movies like this that have this much fun and just like don't just don't give one.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. I think I have two more movies I want to discuss. I don't know about you, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure you can probably guess what they are because we haven't really mentioned them. But
No, I can't honestly.
well, I mean, like we sort of actually we sort of mentioned The Way of Water, but I want to talk at some point. But I think before that though, what?
No, I'm just listening. Sorry, I was
What?
gonna say I haven't seen The Way of Water yet.
Okay, well, I won't say too much then. I won't spoil the
Yeah.
plot. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to spoil, but I mean,
Yeah,
I-
fair
I'll
enough.
I'll I'll keep it spoiler free though. Because I know because you said you're gonna go see it like what today, right?
Today, yeah.
Yeah. So I won't. I promise. I don't like spoilers, but do you have any interest in seeing Wakanda Forever? Because that's the other movie I want.
I will see it. Like if you, I don't know, like I don't know what you would want to talk about it. Like you can just talk.
Just
I don't
quick
know. Just talk
thoughts.
about your feelings in general. I don't know. Go
Yeah. No. My feelings in general about
about it.
movies or
Yeah,
about
about Black
like.
Panther.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if you wanted to turn this into a therapy session, but all right. Alrighty. So, I mean, I had a pretty good time when I went to go see Wakanda Forever. That was a month ago now. It seems like so long ago, but the pacing was a bit shite, I will say. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it felt just as long as Avatar when I went to go see that. So, yeah, that could have definitely been better. However, I think the performance in this even better than the first one. Like, I think, fuck, what is her name? What? Angela Bassett. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. And like, she was fantastic, honestly,
nice.
in that movie. Like, she was so good. Maybe this is controversial. I think she should be nominated for an Oscar. I don't think she should win, but she owned the screen, my guy. You just like she was good, amazing in every single scene she was in. You could really see the passion behind this project just because like they were all really close with Chadwick before he died, obviously. So this was not just another Marvel movie for them. It was sort of like a passion project, right? They wanted, to make this to like, continue his legacy, which, I respect quite a bit, There are some people out there saying it's a bit disrespectful for them to just cast a new well, not really cast a new Black Panther, but just have someone else take up the mantle.
Yeah,
But like, what else are you supposed to do in that situation, right? You got to keep it going somehow. I don't think that Chadwick would have minded that, But obviously, he never told anyone about his death aside from close family and friends. So I guess we'll never know for sure. But
yeah.
I think, I think it was a pretty solid movie. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. I think the CGI was also a lot better than the first one too. The first one had some pretty wonky special effects at certain points, and that's been greatly improved here. There's some really good shots. Also, the villain in this one, he's not as good as Killmonger, but he's pretty damn close. He's. I only say he's not as good because he's barely a villain. He's more like they're just like they're coming into conflict, but he's not really a bad guy. He
Right.
does some shitty things, but he's not exactly a villain, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because his character's actually supposed to be the superhero in the comics. It doesn't really say he's a. I don't think it says he's an anti-hero or a villain. So, like, yeah, it was. I was a bit surprised to hear that he was antagonist, but I think antagonist is probably a better word because it doesn't really make him seem like a villain. He just antagonizes the heroes a bit.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, also he's very attractive. I was having a hard time controlling myself in the theater. He's such a big dude. He's his back is so wide, man. Like fuck's sake, he looks like he could rip me in half. So sorry, but no,
No.
it was a good time. I had a lot, but the thing that kind of ruined it for me a tiny bit, that there was some bastard kids in the theater when I was trying to watch it. They were like, and when I say kids, they were like 12 or 13, so they should have
Right.
known
Right.
better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were screaming in them. They were screaming like for no reason, just at random points in the movie. They kept on getting up. They had their flashlights on all the time. They were taking pictures with the flash and the sound on. And I think they left. They got up and left briefly. I think they all went to the bathroom together. Then they came back in. They just stood in the hallway, and then they all collectively let out one big scream, and then they got kicked out after that. Which I was a little bit taken out of the film because of that. I
Right.
might have to watch it again to see if my experience changes a tiny bit, but it did kind of suck that that happened. You know?
Yeah. That's another
Yeah.
thing. I feel like that's kind of like that happened to me a little, like not as bad, but there was like a couple talking behind me in Barbarian the whole time. That kind of took me out of it a little bit. The menu, not at like I watched the menu recently and I enjoyed
Oh,
that.
I heard that was
Um,
really good.
it
Yeah.
was really funny in the first third. Like once I realized how much they were just gonna mock the idea of fine dining, it doesn't exactly go like it doesn't really work for the entire story.
Hmm.
Like, but it's like entertaining enough throughout. But it definitely like kind of peaked for me in the first third or so, like after the inciting incident. Um, but it was good. There were some people kind of talking about that, but yeah, I don't know. I think I
Oh, boy.
feel less trustful of general audiences more and more. So like, obviously film festivals are great places to watch stuff. I think in like
Mm.
that's why I've enjoyed seeing these smaller movies in theaters and think it's worth it because you're probably not going to get it's very likely that if someone's seeing After Sun, they're not going to, be talking the whole time if they're here to watch a movie like that. They'll like I feel like I feel like almost every movie I notice someone who's probably not actually like bought a ticket. They're just there cuz they're just like trolling around. And it's kind
Oh
of
my
like,
god.
okay, like you're walking into After Sun, why? Like, what I don't know
Yeah.
what they get out of it, like especially
I
when
don't
it's
know
like
either.
midway through. But
Yeah.
um, it
I'm just
happens.
gonna say
But
this I'm gonna say this one time. I'm gonna look right in the camera. If you come to a movie and excuse my language, don't be a cunt. Okay? Stop ruining it for everyone else. Alright? One of my favorite YouTubers, Chris Stuckman, has an amazing rant on this. Suggest you guys go check it out. But like for real, stop being cunts. Stop ruining movies for other people. If you're not interested in the movie, why are you going? If you just want to blow off steam, if you want to blow off steam, watch a movie at your house. Then you can go on your phone,
yeah,
talk to your friends. Don't go to the
and
theater and
yell
ruin
at the
it for everyone
movie.
else.
Yeah,
And if you have a small child who's known to be unruly, do not bring them to the theater. Like, for fuck's sake, that one actually ruined Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom for me. Not to say that
that's
there wasn't much to ruin, it was
yeah,
a shit movie.
yeah,
But like, I was taken out of that because there were these kids behind me. Every time they saw a dinosaur, they would name it, and most of the time it was wrong. Like, just get a babysitter or don't bring them. Wait till it comes out on streaming. Like, for sake, man, I'm sick of people coming to the movies and being fucking cunts. It's so annoying. I don't like to use that word, but in this scenario, I think it's warranted because that's exactly what they are. Like, they're like, you purchase a ticket to a movie maybe you've been really excited for. In my case, I'm excited to see Black Panther 2 because of the fucking hype surrounding it. And then there's these kids at the front. I can see them go click, ah! Like, come on! I don't want to deal with this. I'm not a babysitter, and I told them to shut the hell up along with half of. So, like, there was a collective cheer when they got kicked out. It was beautiful. You would have loved it. Anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm getting a little bit
No,
too
I'm gonna
carried away
let.
there.
No, it's good.
Actually, this is good for views. Screw, they
Yeah,
like
it's a
people
good
like.
it's a good way to let you go.
Yeah.
I'll let you go off there. No, that was a good speech. I rate it.
If oh my god, I wish I took a screen. I took a screen grab of my face right in the camera. That would have been good for a thumbnail. Just my face. Fucking
Yeah.
angry gay goes off on children in movie theaters. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I think that's it. I'm done. That's all I have to say about that. But thankfully, Avatar 2 was not ruined by people talking. Although there was one lady who got up to go to the bathroom like 4 times, and then she kicked my mom really hard by mistake. And I was just like, and I was thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with your bladder, man? Why do you gotta get up so many? I get it's a 3 hour movie.
Yeah.
Are you drinking during that time period? She must have had like 3 cups or something. If that's the case. But anyways, that one was pretty fucking insane. From a technical level only, though, I did not like the story a ton. There's a lot of kidnapping, reacquiring people. Then they get kidnapped again. You
Oh,
know,
wait, they only kidnapped. Oh, I was pretty. They don't kill him. Actually, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
no, I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
Don't
But
say.
there's
Yeah.
just
Okay.
there's a lot of tug of war with people, or I mean Navi in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, then there's like, oof. God, I'm really trying to be careful here. Uh, I mean, it's not really any performances that stand out to me. It's more just a lot of. The first hour is more just like awe and wonder. There's not much of a story there. It's just a showcase of what the hell they were able to do with this movie, and
Okay.
it was a tiny bit much. I was kind of rolling my eyes a tiny bit, but I was also like, yeah, this is really self-indulgent, James, but like fuck if it doesn't look amazing. Like
Yeah.
like I don't know how the hell they did some of this stuff. Like the Navi look way better than they did in the first movie. Obviously, it's been 13 years, but what they're able to do with water to me,
Yeah.
because yeah, like apparently it's very hard to CGI water and water particles, but I was struggling to see which bit of water was real and which wasn't, because I know they did actually film in Japan.
Yeah, they did some like diving scenes with. Apparently, I
Yeah,
saw it in the news. There were some people from BC who apparently were like pro free water divers who did some stuff in the
yeah,
movie. So that's cool.
yeah. Like, and to hold your breath that long, I think is quite impressive. Apparently, Kate Winslet trained herself to hold her breath like 7 minutes, which is longer than Tom Cruise did in Mission Impossible. I think it was 5. Yeah, Mission Impossible 5.
Right.
Yeah. So I was pretty impressed with that, to be honest. But yeah, no. Other than that, the story is about as simple as the first one, but it has a different
Right.
message now. The first one was about preserving your forest. This one's about preserving the oceans. So I mean, I can
Yeah.
get behind the message. And of course, James Cameron, he loves the ocean. He
He
goes,
loves the ocean.
spends a lot of time in
He's a
there.
big fan of the ocean. I'd say that's one thing
Yeah.
that's unanimous about him.
Oh
He
yeah.
loves the ocean.
Oh yes. Very nice ocean. Yeah. What are your expectations going into this movie? I should ask.
Good question.
Have you rewatched the first one recently?
No,
Like
I
second one,
watched
fourth one,
when.
five?
When did I even watch that? Like, I don't know if I watched it for the. I'm trying to remember if I watched it for the first time in the
The
pandemic,
first
like on my
time?
laptop, I think,
Oh
or
my
something like
god.
that. Let me see. I
At least
watched
watch it
it
on your TV.
May 5th, 2020. I watched it on Disney
Wow.
Plus.
Damn.
Um, I don't know if I watched it before that at all, because I don't think I saw it I don't think I saw it in a theater.
No, no, like we were way too young
We
for that.
were
You would have
like,
been like,
yeah,
five,
like
six.
not even 6, so I
Oh yeah,
couldn't
no,
watch
it's
that.
December. Yeah. No, I think
So
I was. Yeah, no, I was. I think I was 6 years old when that movie came out. I didn't see it until like, I want to say 2012. I think I may have seen it when I was either 9 or 10. and some of the creatures scared me at the time. I will say, not all of that film was aged well. There are some scenes that look a bit janky, but overall, like the CGI still looks pretty good. I mean, it looks better than some of the stuff I've seen in Phase Four of the MCU, which is kind of upsetting. But I
Yeah,
mean, I think that says more about how Marvel works its anime than it does, the improvement of CGI over the
it
years.
does,
So,
and I think we've on this
yeah,
show have given Marvel the run of the mill, but I think like for how
yeah,
they approach their visual effects, and I think James is also basically just giving the middle finger to all the people who like all these companies that are like rushing out these visual effects heavy projects so fast, and then they end up looking like garbage. He's like, hey, look what I can do with 9 years, so much better than your shit. Is basically what he's said in interviews, with like the whole thing about Thanos and everything. Even though like I say the Infinity War stuff and like is decent, is good,
Hmm.
but obviously he's like basically trying to say like, look what happens when you give animators and visual effects people time to make something. It actually looks
yeah,
pretty fucking good.
yeah.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm hoping I can get lost in Pandora more than I
Yeah.
did
You
watching it on
probably
my
want to be honest.
laptop and enjoy
Yeah.
the scents and the water that's supposed to the sprays or whatever they're throwing at me and
Bring it
the
out.
seat
Bring it
moving
out.
and the 4DX thing. So I hope to be immersed. I'm hoping the sprays don't take me out of the movie, and I hope the high
Yeah.
frame rate doesn't distract me because I've heard that. I don't know if you watched it in a high frame rate. What did you watch it in? Oh, you said Screen
Well,
X.
it was Screen X. It was a pretty goddamn high frame rate because I think Screen X is it's pretty close to IMAX, like just in terms of its image quality. But just the only thing that makes it different is the screens on the side, right?
Right.
So, but
So it
I
didn't
thought
have high frame rate.
I think it somewhat did. I honestly wouldn't know. I mean,
Okay.
maybe I'd have to watch it on a different screen to be sure. But I mean, I didn't feel distracted by that at all. The only thing that distracted me, I mentioned to you this off camera, just the stuff in my periphery. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, that was probably a mistake. I probably, given having knowledge of this now, I probably wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah.
Just got
Yeah.
straight fried. But
Fair
oh well.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. But when I was there at the theater, like Avatar 2 was playing in like every single auditorium, it seemed
Yeah.
like it was
It's
everywhere, man.
insane, like how
It
much I
was
don't know
insane.
how they've managed to, like, to be fair, I think everyone is kind of afraid of Avatar, so there's not too much other stuff. Like most awards season movies have already released. Like the only other
I
thing,
know
well,
they're
Babylon's
nominated for,
coming out
yeah.
this week,
Oh
and
yeah,
the Whale's
yeah.
technically coming out. I don't know how wide it's expanding, and then also what the freaking I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston movie is coming out. I don't know how many screens those are going to demand. I think Babylon will demand a few, but like yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
like like Black Panther was the only thing occupying screens before then, and those are like obviously diminishing because it's Disney. It's not like they're fighting over screens with them. They're fighting with themselves, so that's not really what's happening. So, but yeah, and obviously with how long it is, they want as many screenings as possible in pretty much every
Yeah.
format. And and like they're always taking the premiere ones, like the premium formats as much as possible, the IMAX, the Ultra,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it kind of makes sense. Um, yeah.
Hmm. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say? Or
Uh, the
did
last
you want
thing
to?
was
Oh yeah.
the Metacritic challenge to see give an
Oh
honest
yes, that's
review
right.
to that.
Yeah.
Because I honestly I have no like it's been a while since I've looked over
Did you
this.
put Babylon on there for yourself?
I did put Babylon in there for
Yeah,
myself.
I saw that the reviews were pretty
They're pretty
polarizing. So
mixed. They're pretty mixed. I will
yeah,
double check what its current score is along
maybe.
with everything else, but
Honestly,
let me go ahead
I
and
could just see it
share
for
that with
crack
you.
value from Tobey Maguire. He looks so funny in that movie.
I am still looking forward to Babylon a lot. I think I will enjoy it at the very least, even if I maybe don't. I don't know. I think I'll like it honestly, but we'll see how it goes. Do you see the screen?
Yeah, I do.
All right, cool. So
Ooh.
you had Reservation Dogs. I finally did catch up on the season. It kind of deserves
Mhm.
that high 93. It's a great show. I highly
Awesome.
recommend Reservation Dogs. I'll just make sure it hasn't changed, even though there's no reason it should have. That's the general. That's not the season 2 specifically. Season 2 has a 93. Yeah. All right.
Solid.
Andor, I think it probably stayed at the 74 it got, which is pretty good for a Star Wars show. Still 74.
Yeah, I'm so
Uh, you had
yeah,
Atlanta season 4. That had
yeah.
mixed reception. I really liked Atlanta season 4. I thought it was a really good ending to it. I think it doesn't reach the peaks of the first two seasons. I think season 1 and 2 are easily better. It's still an 82. But
I can't. I mean, it's just funny to me that 82 is mixed show like this. Just
for
shows you the
for
quality.
Atlanta, because yeah, it just like it's the lowest score by like a lot it's ever had, which is
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
She-Hulk, pretty sure, yeah, it's still
Oh boy.
sitting at a 67, which is not terrible. Rick and
Not
Morty,
terrible, but
not
I
great.
kind of feel like She-Hulk deserved a
Rick
little
and
bit
Morty,
less.
I've lost interest in Rick and Morty. I started watching the season and I just like one episode was kind of fun because it was just such a meta screenwriting episode that was just like referencing all these things. It was kind of fun, but I don't know. I just kind of lost interest in watching it. Like it would come out at
Yeah,
11:30 on
I
a
never have.
Sunday,
I
and
just
I
never
was just
had any
like,
interest in watching it. It doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't really seem like it'd be that. I mean, I've watched a little bit of it, like because my roommates they love, it, but I'm just not feeling it that much.
right. So the
Yeah.
whale sits at a 60 after it's, I mean, it has scores all over the board, but
Yeah, I'm
it's
not too surprised. It is
yeah.
Darren Aronofsky after a while. After all,
Yeah. I think
so
I'm looking forward to it though. I think I'll probably like it better
yeah.
than The Way of Water, which is the
Our
next movie
Metacritic
you have.
scores are most of our Metacritic scores are kind of low this year,
I think they are generally. I think Metacritic has been harsher with films in general, like the stuff that,
which is good
anticipates for
because the
awards.
Lord knows Rotten Tomatoes has been way too easy on some of these lately. To
Yeah,
be
I
honest,
mean
I
Rotten
mean,
Tomatoes
I
is
feel
like
like
it's a very different metric because these are like the actual scores critics have been giving
yeah,
them.
I
Rotten
mean, Rotten
Tomatoes is how many
Tomatoes still
like
has
like would recommend it, which is a very different thing
yeah,
than like you could
yeah,
recommend a movie and still think it's like literally a 50.
yeah.
That can happen. Black
But like, what's
Panther.
it called? There was, but there is scores. Then they usually the percentage score goes along with the overall score that they give. But I've seen some of the, I've looked at some of the critics, like in their reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Some of them are fucking insane with
Yeah.
what they have, like rated terribly. Like I should. There was one. There was one I saw. He gave I think he gave fucking Black Panther 2 and the Batman both bad scores, but then I think I can't he rated some terrible movie really I have to find it. Here, I'm gonna just quickly go to Oh wait, he also gave a shit score to Top Gun Maverick. He said it was terrible, which I'm like, "What?" Like maybe it's not the best narratively, but you can't say it's a terrible movie. That's kind of ridiculous, but anyways, that's just Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I need to find this guy. God, it's gonna be under the Top Gun map. I'm sure.
There's no way his name is Armin White, is it? I don't know that. I know that
I
guy.
don't know.
Maybe
I'll
it might
find
be.
it.
We'll see.
Yeah. I wonder if he's the same guy who fucking gave Paddington 2 its one review.
Maybe I don't know.
All right, let's take a look at some of the reviews. 452 reviews for Top Gun Maverick and
Oh wait,
96.
we actually
No.
can't finish this up because you still have A Man Called Otto, and I don't think that's released to critics yet.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, it isn't. Nah, we can't wrap it up today. Unfortunately, I didn't even remember that. Thing is, because they pushed it to wide release in January. That's the thing. I think they did the same with Women Talking, but it already had a festival release, so it still has most of its scores. Armageddon Time, 74, still what that is. Rings of Power, still 71. Abbott Elementary was very strong for me. I'm hoping I don't think it would have changed. Yeah, 90.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh
The
yeah,
White
no,
Lotus.
I found one of
You
them.
found.
Yeah, I think I don't know if this is the same guy. Let's see. Where's the? I don't think he's reviewed the Batman. Maybe this isn't the guy. But he gave Top Gun Maverick a shit score for some reason. But most of his track record is good. Okay, let's see. This guy. Maybe this is the. Where is this guy? Maybe I should go to the back. I stumbled across this guy one day. Why the hell can't I find it? He had some hilarious fuck. This is gonna. This is actually gonna annoy me.
Oh, also, like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, like premiered with like such a high score, but I think it went down by a lot. Like it premiered with like a 93 or whatever, which was ridiculous.
Oh, really?
Pretty good, but I think it's closer to an 80 now.
Hmm. Okay, so this guy gave Avatar 2.
Yeah, 79. Just still good.
Yeah, Avatar 2 it didn't get a bad score at all. It's a little bit lower than the first one, but okay, he gave Black Adam a bad score. That's fair. Oh wow, he gave Tar a bad score. Jeez, and he gave Amsterdam a good score. What the fuck? He also gave Triangle of Sadness a shit score as well. Oh my god. He gave Don't Worry, Darling a good score. Oh my god. This is not good. I don't know if this is the same guy I'm thinking of. God,
Are you
damn
seeing
it.
this though? You see this?
Am I
What I
seeing
just
what?
pulled up for Till.
Oh, yeah. 79?
Yeah,
Did you put that one or did I?
I did. I have it.
Oh, fuck,
And
man.
and
Jesus,
I took
I
that
should've
as like a
put that one.
last ditch attempt almost.
Good for you, man. You
I
found a
get-
diamond in the rough. God damn.
So
I honestly, I was really. Oh, shit. That's annoying. Yeah.
one of the last ones I do not have a score for is She Said, which unfortunately did not do very well in theaters. It had a wide release and did not perform very well. It had a solid critic score, 74. I don't know if Triangle of Sadness has changed at all because that's the last movie I have here. Man, I wish I had After Sun, because After Sun I think is the highest on Metacritic this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a 95.
All right.
So I think it's definitely the highest rated movie of the year. But yeah, well, if it wasn't for A Man Called Otto, we'd
be done already. Kind
But-
of annoying.
I don't even know when is that. I think it's not coming out till 2023, so it's technically a 2023 movie now. When is
I
it?
think, but I think I may have found the guy I was talking about. I found his review on Paddington 2. Do you want to hear what it says?
Sure.
It's fucking hilarious. Full review. Let's see. Okay, it's on this website called Medium Power. Oh, it's a fucking video, but there's a quote from it. As a man who is dead inside, I couldn't fully buy into the world of Paddington, but I watched it with my son, and he did enjoy it. Just something, just not for me. 2 out of 5. 99%. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nothing can have 100% Rotten Tomatoes anymore. That's illegal.
I know, it's insane.
not
It's
allowed.
absolutely insane.
Not everyone can like a movie. It's not allowed. It's legal.
No, I guess not. Fuck. He also gave Ghostbusters a bad score as well, which is. What else did he give? He's got some ones here. Two. Okay, at least he didn't give more. That's a good.
He gave what? A good score?
He did. I was gonna say at least he didn't give Morbius a good score.
Oh. That'd be funny. That'd honestly be quite
Yeah, no, this isn't the guy either. What the fuck? Why can't I find this guy? His reviews were so funny. He gave clearly good movies, bad reviews. I'm gonna lose my mind. It's gotta be here somewhere. Where the fuck is it? So what do we do? Should we end this? I don't want to just like keep dragging this out.
Oh,
when
yeah,
I'm looking.
fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Baba Booey. We're done, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Aidan will probably keep searching for this critic forever.
I have to find this man.
Yeah.
I like literally. He is the fucking stupidest review.
I guess I'll finish this off by saying I'll leave my link to my Screenfish reviews in the chat below. Oh, I've seen some. Also, I remembered just now. My most recent review was on a really shit movie. It had a low budget so like some of it wasn't its fault. Like some of it was clearly because they had a low budget, but you could still make a good movie at a low budget. It was just a shit movie.
What was it called?
It's called Vandits. Vandits. It was.
Famous.
I would
Are
not
they
recommend
banned
it.
using a band?
They are actually.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I.
But here I'll just give you the premise just to know. So it's like four really weird people, like, and like I don't even know how they know each other, but like they're breaking into a seniors bingo hall and trying to rob it for $25,000, which apparently like I guess exists. It doesn't make any sense why there's $25,000 in a seniors bingo hall, but I guess there is. And then it goes awry and someone dies, but don't worry, it's a time loop. And so they're going to go again.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? That actually sounds like it could be really fun if done with a higher budget. Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
Fuck.
also if it had good writing and actors who knew how to make the writing funny.
Okay, well, there's that.
There is that part. They do things that seem like attempts at jokes, but they're very much not funny. And that is unfortunately the worst kind of thing, is like when someone is like, bad comedy is death. You can make melodrama and kind of like make fun of it. You can't make fun of bad comedy because it's just like, bad joke. What else are you supposed to say about it? Because it's not taking itself seriously, but it's also not enjoyable.
Oh no, it's a Canadian movie.
It is a Canadian movie.
It's in Manitoba.
It was directed, it was directed by the guy who voiced Ralphie in the Magic School Bus.
Wait, what?
Yes. You heard
Seriously?
what did I stutter?
He was in Donnie Darko as well. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, gross. He's from Thornhill. So sorry.
Shout out to Thornhill, I guess. Anyways, make sure to check out my Screenfish reviews.
Check out this man's Screenfish reviews. Best Christian movie reviewer out there.
Thank you.
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. I try to be as, what I've realized about criticism a little bit more is I don't love to be negative, because there's enough of that out there. But also, you need to know when you probably shouldn't have made it. And
I wish I could
so
say the same. I love being negative on movies. Yeah. I'm sure if I do start making movies one day, someone will probably shit on mine. Just fine. I'm ready for that. But until then, I will shit on any movies I don't like. And I will shit on people. Well,
I will shit on people more than I will shit on the movies at this point.
Yeah. That's fair. I mean, like, because you will tear fucking
I will tear Adam McKay to shreds. I will tear James Cameron's ego to shreds. I will tear David O. Russell to shreds because he probably should be in jail.
What's his name from who's that guy's name? The guy on Facebook that we've talked about.
Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader, yeah.
He's more funny. I won't rip, I'll rip some of the things he says because they're fucking stupid, and he's like, he's old. He's an old man who does not understand how to like not offend people sometimes. But he's just also an old man, and I don't think any of the things he's saying are as dangerous as something that, like, I don't know, fucking Kanye and Kyrie have been promoting with their like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That bullshit about anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Bullshit. But anyways, regardless, I will maybe keep doing that. We'll see what I have to say about James Cameron after I see Avatar. We'll see. I will probably maybe rip. I might be very bored with the story, but I'm gonna hope I can enjoy the experience regardless.
I hope so too.
Because I never want to watch a movie and think it's bad.
Especially go to the theater, man, because that's basically a waste of money.
Yeah,
to be honest.
And
now that I have my own money and funds to buy, very slow. Fair enough there.
Yeah,
Fair
it's
enough.
also my own time, so I don't like to waste on bad movies.
That too. Your time is valuable. Don't let it be wasted by men who waste their shit.
Yes.
Or women.
Yeah. Women do make shit movies too. That's
except for Catherine Bigelow.
Anyways.
Yeah.
It is rare because they tend to, most women directors tend to not make shit somehow. It's almost like it's harder for them to make a movie in the first place. So once they get the chance to, it's actually usually decent.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think I've definitely seen a lot more shit movies from men than I've seen from women. But to be
No, you're
fair,
not
I
wrong.
have probably ended up seeing more good movies from men than I have from women, for the
Just because
same
there's women
problems.
directors. Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, regardless, um, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the other interesting thing we could talk about in the future is that the top 100 list from the Sight and Sound
Oh yeah.
magazine. There was a lot of stuff about that. Anyways, women directors did well this year. I'll just say that as a general statement because it's true. Actresses kind of dominate the screen better than men, I'd say. Definitely as far as Oscar type of performances go. But let's hope that Brendan Fraser, who I'm watching, will also do very
Yes.
well.
Get this man an award
I will.
now. He's making so much. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the hype train behind that unfortunately is slowing down a little bit, but I'm hoping that the movie being seen by audiences will help revitalize it a little bit, and hopefully I'm on that bandwagon.
That's because it
So
took so goddamn long for it to come out, man. Like Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
it did.
What's the deal?
Anyways,
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Make sure
That
I'll
wraps
put
it up.
Aiden's Instagram in the link below. Make sure to check out his little final project.
Yeah.
I'll probably have a short film at the end. I think I have to have a short film by the end of this year because that is what one of my next classes is about. So,
Ooh.
I will let you
Nice.
know when that comes out or when that's
Sounds good.
done.
I'll be the first one to like and comment.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Appreciate that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Daniel of the Dead Film Critics Society, along with my
Yeah.
good friend Aiden, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.